Hey there guys, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2. Goodbye Despair. Okay, I have a theory of what happened, and I'm going to share it with you. And I really hope it's right, but there are certain things I don't know. So, but I'm going to tell you what I've come to, and we're going to go into the trial, we're going to find out how close I got. So, the first thing, the big thing I had to consider after the end of the last episode is what the hell is going on with the strange feeling in Tower. Because when you came in from the other side, it looked identical. What this told me, or what this made me think, is that we have the orientation completely wrong. It is not two hallways connecting to the same circular room, or it is, but it's not. They're not coming from opposite sides like we thought until now. What I'm now thinking is that the elevator is not going left and right, it's going up and down. And Grape Tower is underneath Strawberry Tower. What's actually happening whenever the lights change is that the floor is descending to match Grape Tower or ascending to match Strawberry Tower. Which is why, regardless of which hallway you come in, it still looks identical. Because you're actually approaching from the same side. The one problem with this theory is I don't quite know how that matches the fact that the compass does a complete 180 whenever the elevator moves. I mean, is it like going around and like circling? I don't know. That doesn't make sense, but that explanation works for why these two scenes are just about identical. Excuse me. That also explains why the chains are not present on the door when we come in, from Strawberry side. We expected the chains to stop our entry where it's just open fine and there's no sign of them anywhere. Well, if Grape Tower is below Strawberry Tower and the floor just rose, then we wouldn't ever see it. Or possibly Strawberry's under Grape. I don't actually know which order they're in, but regardless, that's why the chains weren't there. So that's my first theory. Therefore, if that's true, then the way that Mekamaru was killed is that you go to the topmost tower. I'm going to assume it's Strawberry Tower. And you use that wire that's around him in order to basically tie him to the door. Then you go around to Grape side. You've obviously hit the goodnight button, so he can't move. You go around to the Grape side, and you press the button. The floor descends, but Mekamaru, at least temporarily, stays suspended by the wire. Time goes by, eventually the wire gives way because Mekamaru is freaking heavy. He falls. You've probably got him tied upside down, I guess. He falls, and his head hits the top of the pillar, with enough impact that it shatters the pillar. Then, obviously that's going to kill him, and that's why there's oil on just the very top portion of the pillar. You go in there, you clean up all of the shards, but you don't get the ones under his body, which is why you had the pillar fragments under his body, but not anywhere else. So that's how I think the crime happened, and that brings us to the question of who do I think did it. If I'm right, then we have alibis for Fuyuhiko, Gundam, and Kazuichi. The only ones that don't have alibis are Nagito, Chiaki, Sonia, and to a certain degree, Akane. Although I don't think Akane did it, just because her reaction seemed genuine, and she doesn't seem like all that great an actress. So I don't think Akane did it, which brings our big suspicions to Chiaki and Sonia. Except not really. Because even though Gundam has a very solid alibi, he also has 4 Dark Divas of Destruction. And if all he actually has to do to kill Gundam is press a button, he could have very easily had one of those Dark Divas press the button at a specific point. Since he's got an alarm clock set to go off in Strawberry Tower, and we're assuming, the Dark Divas have exceptional hearing, he could just tell them, hey, press this thing whenever you hear the alarm go off. That lets him show up, have an alibi, and still be the perpetrator, which is my #1 suspect. I think Gundam did it, and I'm very sad because I love Gundam to death. It looks like him and Sonya are the ones I have gotten the closest with. So, and I guess Akane too. But yeah, Gundam is the one I think did it. A backup suspect is, I guess, Fuyuhiko and Sonya. Chiaki, I'll be real honest. I don't think Chiaki did it only because I really like Chiaki. I don't have any real evidence to make me think Chiaki didn't do it, other than the fact I don't want Chiaki to have done it. Akane, I legitimately don't think would have done it. Kazuichi, I don't think did it simply because he was instrumental in basically getting us the evidence of what was really going on in the tower. Without him repairing as much as he did, we wouldn't have figured it out, and the chain was definitely there in order to keep us from learning the truth about the tower. So Kazuichi would not have done as much as he did to, you know, circumvent his own precautions if he was the one that was doing them. And like I said, Nagito can't have done it because we know he didn't have access to the final dead room until the murder had already happened. So that's what I think. That is, and we're going to go in here and we're going to find out how close I got. Because like I said, there are still a few things I simply do not know. There's a few truthfuls that don't, like, get into it. Like, I don't really know, other than just to throw off the trail, I don't know if the new-looking hammer is supposed to do. It seems to have nothing to do with it. I also have absolutely no idea why that timer stopped at 7:30. We were all there. It couldn't have been tampered with later. I don't get that. And I also don't really get, like I said, the, you know, compass changing. So there are definitely things about this trial I have not figured out. So, but you know, I figured I'm going to sit down, I'm going to try and figure something out, and I'm going to go. I'm not going to wait until I solve absolutely everything, because that's boring. So here we go, guys. I'm excited.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
I already know the explanation, but I'm going to let it play again because I like the way you talk.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it.
Oh, I like the Makan's is a, like, cross. Is that like a medical cross?
If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment.
I wonder if only the killers have special ones.
I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go.
Wow, I thought he was kind of bummed out and didn't want to do this. He seems all excited now.
Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Woohoo, Manomi!
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is. I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it? Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Well, of course she does. Everything about Akane is impressive.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident?
That seems like a good idea.
We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I like his eye patch, the dragon.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m. I headed over to Grape Tower from Monokuma Taichi and found the body there.
You headed over to... Oh, no, to Grape Tower. I was like, you're already in Grape Tower. I keep thinking of the, like, three-story, you know, dorm places as towers.
Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning?
Absolutely. Jealous.
Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
You don't have to have that flexible of legs. You can bend over. It's okay.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
And the announcement immediately
The
played.
body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall.
Alright, that makes sense.
Someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
I like his blind eye. It's interesting that we have two of the male characters have blind eyes, because I'm pretty sure that's what that scar and the, like, different colored eye is meant to represent.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer.
Do you know who it is? I know who it is. At least I have a suspicion. I may be
Anyway,
wrong.
It's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes. One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
Akane, quit trying to get yourself killed.
You're the cruelest one here.
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
Yeah, good job, Chiaki. Let's stay focused.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon.
Even Miss Sonia, what the hell are you saying, Kazuichi? This is why no one likes you.
Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
You can tell what the weapon is just by looking? Wouldn't have some mystery if that were true. Kitty. The only crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably... I mean... I actually think it was the wire.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
I can't see.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
Okay, so... I can't argue for the wire already.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was
Oh,
unexpected,
it's because it's new looking. That's what I argue with.
That's
Gotcha,
right.
gotcha.
It was a surprise beating.
Well, you can hear Monokuma. Yeah. You can't
I guess we should
beat the
figure
crap
out
out of
the
someone if
weapon
your
first.
camera looks brand new.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, it took me too long to figure that out. I think because I was trying to already get to the wire.
No, I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
Because it's wrong.
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body, just like human blood, right?
And it looked
The
brand
hammer
new.
was used to beat Nekomaru. You'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Yeah, there's also no dents or anything.
Yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Heck yeah.
Baby gangsta? Me?
Fucking kill you.
Just so y'all know, I was trying to test you guys.
That almost makes it look like it's soda, but I don't think it
I
is.
thought maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
That's the thing. I don't know how it's going to get me to where I think what happened.
Look at it from a different angle. If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
That's a good way of approaching it.
I see!
Yeah.
The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon. Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar.
And that tricked me too, because for a very, very long time, I was trying to think of it as, okay, how did they make the pillar fall on Nekomaru? When the actual question I should have asked is, how did they get Nekomaru to fall on the pillar?
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
You tried, Akane. What do you mean, why?
You tried to move it, right?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking
It's
about?
you, Fuyuhiko.
Coach Nekomaru's robot body. With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So Nekomaru killed himself.
So, he lifted the pillow, and then what? Did he...
You mean
Oops.
Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid. He ain't the type to commit suicide.
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Well, I guess you're right.
Thank you.
What the heck?
I like being right. But it does bother me a little. That word, suicide. By the way, the fourth murder of killing school life was apparently ruled a suicide. No, that shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit suicide.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Huh? For reals?
Yes, for reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all.
Come on, Sonia, you and me.
Sonia, here I go!
I bet I have to support her. Because I also agree with where she's going. Is it going to be the pillar fragments?
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
There's the
Aimed
pillar
right for his
fragments.
head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl. I'm getting hella excited.
Okay, dang it.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
I don't have the option
Even
to support
I could
her.
probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
I don't
Sonia,
really
you go,
know.
Girl. I'm getting hella excited.
Ah, so by tipping of that, is that really it? I don't think so, but I don't know how to argue against it. Okay. On the pillar side, the door was tipped over. The extra area was also stained. It was so heavy that even two people couldn't budge it. I guess pillar fragments is the way to go.
The pillar was not lifted. Beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
Okay, that is it. Because they were under his body.
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Well, I actually think they went back and cleaned those.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
I briefly considered that too. But it's probably not what happened. I see. That was entirely my bad.
It's okay, Sonia. You tried. You are on the right track.
If they didn't tip it over, Then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
They're gonna go away from the pillar and then come back to it later.
I have a feeling.
I got a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instinct.
Instincts are awesome.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we? There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Hey, I noticed it. Give me some credit here.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, the same as usual.
I feel Nagito has lost his hope. And he's been like the beacon of hope this entire time.
You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh. What did you say?
Wow, what happened? Why is Nagito? Oh my God, it's really interesting because he's been kind of the weird off character the whole time, but now he's actually going through despair.
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Hey, Nagito, what the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
I could tell you if it would let me.
First of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
That's one thing I also never quite figured out what that was about.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
Yeah, which at least 3 of us have done.
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know, but I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
I don't know what he's talking about. Do you guys know what he's talking about? I bet you do. You played this game.
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon. I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory. It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4
Wow, why is Sonya all into like Gundam?
I see.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
I can tell you why. How do you not know?
Bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the Funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the Funhouse?
I like secrets.
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the Funhouse.
And we can't always symbols of hope. There was at least one of us that, you know, was actually on Team Despair.
Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the Funhouse.
It does. I kind of don't like how much I figured out.
Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower. But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the Funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonya...
Kazuichi, you could be convinced by anything if Sonya did it. I'm pretty sure Kazuichi would, like, just sit there happily if Sonya was reading the phone book.
Faux show. I
Oh
shall
my
leave
God.
this matter to your discretion.
I thought that the first 2, but I'm not finding proof completely contradicts that. Make my argument. Yeah, the strange feeling in the tower.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the Funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
Okay, it's right at the beginning.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
No, that's wrong.
Bam.
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
I mean, they're the same floor.
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom
Wait,
destroyed
really?
your homeland?
It's on now, Sonia.
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
You're not a prince.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees.
I do agree the floor moved, but I don't think it rotated.
If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Hey, keep it simple, stupid.
Does that mean he's wrong? Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building again.
Bow down.
Bow down? How now?
How about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
That's ridiculous.
Well, we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, but we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
You're ridiculous, Sonia.
Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
That's actually, that... Fun fact, whenever Marie Antoinette said that, I may have said this before, but she wasn't actually just being a dick. Like, a lot of people, like, quote that as just, oh my gosh, how out of touch are you? She was actually saying that because back in that time, for whatever reason, bread was really expensive because of the, like, yeasting process, but whatever they used to make cake was a lot cheaper, so peasants could actually afford cake easier than they could afford bread.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been, and Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
God dang. I don't know how many slices it takes.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
That's it. Oh my god, it is so hard to get those.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Oh my god. I
There
hate
are many
this.
different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
I don't have enough slashes.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Okay.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the pillar, the body, and he could have moved it all easy as pie. It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong.
Up. Slash.
Wielding the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
I don't... Oh, I hate these so much.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Oh my god.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
This is so stupid.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's
So
doing.
this is one easy way to do it. Okay.
Moving the
So
body
it's
and the pillar
frustrating.
in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene. He could have moved it all easy as pie.
What counters that? I don't know.
You have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear.
I don't... I have no fucking idea what to do here.
Crap!
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
It's one of those.
Crap!
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene. He could have moved it all easy as pie. It seems you have forgotten.
The oil on the floor, maybe?
Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime...
Okay, god damn, I hate those so fucking much.
Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Huh?
When the position of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Okay, that's what... It's just... You have to work so hard to get to a point where you can counter it, and you can't see the argument before you have to counter it, and you just... Annoying. But, that will end the first episode. Sorry for my noobishness, guys. I will see you in like 30 minutes when the next part of this trial gets posted. So remember to tune in, guys. You are all of the awesome. Every bit.